Tressa. Well, I'm back today with a chicken recipe. No, I'm picking. It's not chicken, but I love chicken. I eat lots of chicken, but we've been eating chicken a lot this week, and pretty lean. So we're gonna celebrate Ella's getting out of school, and we're gonna take a shortcut. I have a strawberry cake on my channel that is so good from scratch. I mean, it is. It's really, really good. I'm not trying to brag. It's a good recipe though, and we love it. But I was baking this before I got into baking from scratch. I was baking this cake before Ella was ever born, and it's delicious. And it uses a white cake mix. I've never used it on my channel. If you like recipes using shortcuts like this, let me know, and I'll be happy to do more like this. I enjoy the baking challenges, but I like any kind of baking and any kind of cooking. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this recipe. I hope you give it a try. I like my frosting's a little bit different. I like a little bit of a cream cheese with some of the frozen. I love those frozen strawberries you get in the syrup with the sugar in them already. They're so good. And I also have a strawberry cream cheese pineapple salad on my channel that is so good. Sometimes I just crave that thing. It's so good. But anyway, let's get started. I have my oven preheated, and it's just a couple of ingredients extra, and it won't take us long. I'll have to let the cake cool, but I hope you enjoy it, and I'm excited to eat this cake because I've been craving these strawberries for a while. I don't know if you can see that, but my oven's preheated to 350. I'm also going to do something that I've never done before, and I'm going to use one of these pans. I see so many people use these pans, and I'm like, I want to use one. I want to try one, and if I want to put my cake in the refrigerator, it takes up less room than the glass Pyrex pans. Anyway, I sprayed it with baking spray. So my oven's preheated. So let's get started mixing the cake. Got everything measured out, and I want to show you the ingredients that I'm using. This is just the Great Value. I can't even see that. I'm sorry. Sliced strawberries with sugar. Now, I should have put those in the food processor, but to be honest with you, I made that chicken salad, and if you haven't seen that video, watch that video. I've made 3 batches so far, and I have to put the chicken in the food processor, the celery, the onions, and so I didn't feel like washing it, so I used half a cup of strawberries, and I've just put them in this cup. So I might have some larger ones, but you probably should cut them up a little bit. I'm just kind of being lazy, I guess. Or you could also use fresh strawberries that you macerate with a little sugar. Let them sit in a little sugar for a little while. And this is my favorite. If I had to pick one, it would be Duncan Hines. I actually had a white strawberry cake mix in my pantry, but it was expired by a year, so I had to purchase this one. Now my old recipe, I just used a white cake mix and 1 small box of the strawberry jello. But I haven't done it in so long, so I started researching it a little bit, and I found it's called a River Roads cookbook. I don't know if you're familiar with that. And it calls for 3 tablespoons of flour, and it also calls for 4 eggs, but I'm going to use 3. Anyway, I'm going to hopefully this comes out. We're just going to go with what we have. Let me get my scissors. And also you could use only the egg whites if you want, but I always use the whole egg. And if it turns out a little bit yellow, hopefully it won't, but if it turns out a little bit, that's okay. But if you want it extremely white and red, then I would just use the egg whites. That's what the box says. So we're going to put that in here. We're just basically going to dump it in here. And it's a 9 by 13 pan, if I didn't say that. And also we're going to add, this is just 3 tablespoons of all-purpose flour. And I kind of just scooped it out. I didn't like level them off or anything. And now we're going to add the jello. I want to make a jello, and I'm going to put some fresh strawberries in it and bananas. And I want to see if I can get it out. You put it in a bundt pan and then see if I can get it out and make one of those retro molds. Maybe put cream cheese on the top or sour cream. They have all kind of recipes. And I think I see, I might have let a fly in. I tell you what, that's the only thing I don't like about the summertime for the bug. Let's put the jello. And you could use this, you'd probably use a whisk, a hand mixer. There's 100 different ways you can mix this cake. I'm just using this easy way. Now I have 3/4 of a cup of water, just plain water. Look at that red. And this is 3/4 a cup of, I use canola oil, but you could use vegetable oil, corn oil, just any kind of oil. Not olive oil though. Okay. And I did let my eggs sit out at room temperature. This is 3 large eggs. Now some call for 4, but I'm going to use the 3 like I said. And we're just going to dump them in. And the strawberries, we're going to dump in. I was worried about the amount of liquid. And it says a teaspoon of vanilla, but it's pretty sweet. So I'm just going to add like a drop just for fun because I love vanilla so much. But it really probably is not necessary. That's probably about 1/4 of a teaspoon. All right, let's just mix this. And I don't know if you noticed, but I moved my mixer to the edge of the cabinet on a different side so I could try to video with the new angle on the tripod because it's like 2 tripods stuck together. Sorry about my hand. So we're gonna mix this, and you want to scrape the sides of your bowl. And I'm gonna see the consistency. I'm gonna mix this for a couple of minutes, and I'll be back. Mix this for a couple of minutes to get the lumps out. That's one thing I don't like about the cake mixes sometimes, but I want you to see the consistency. It looks just right, actually. And my mixer actually broke my strawberries up. So I was very grateful for that. Very. So let's pour it into the pan. Let me move the camera over. And hopefully this fits. I don't know if I have good baking vibes today. We're going to have to see how the cake comes out. I don't know. I haven't baked since that coconut cake that I made. And I've never used one of these pans, and you know, sometimes I should test these things before I share it with you guys. But it is sweet, the Jell-O. Oh, and you don't want to use a sugar-free Jell-O, by the way. I don't think it would come out right. It looks pretty though, it's a pretty color. I don't think the egg yolks are going to make one bit of difference. And it says to bake in about 23 to 28 minutes. Now we have a little extra flour in here, but I think it was needed. So that looks good. I'm going to just kind of get some of the air bubbles out. So I'm going to put this in the oven, and I'll always bake with something underneath just in case it comes out. I can't even, you know what I mean. It bakes all, too hot for my vocabulary lately. I just cannot find the words. My brain or something's moving too fast for my mouth. Anyway, you know what I mean. You don't want to spill in your oven. We'll leave it at that. So I'll put it in the oven, and let's say a prayer, because I've been saying lots of prayers lately. But and by the way, that sticky honey garlic chicken thigh recipe, so good. Oh my gosh, that sauce was so good with the rice and the peas. Watch that video. And I'm sorry I keep telling you to watch videos, but I just want to share it with you guys when I feel like something's really successful and tasty. So let me bake this and I'll quit talking. Then we're going to make some beautiful, beautiful frosting. Okay, that you also want to take a cream cheese out to get room temperature. I have 2, but I'm not going to use 2. I'm going to use 1. I might do something else with the other one. And I bought some, the butter with the half sticks. I don't like a lot of butter in my cream cheese frosting. And I also wanted to mention that, guess what? I'm going to use those strawberries for the frosting, so I'm going to need a food processor anyway. So that's what I get for trying to be lazy. It doesn't pay in the end. You might as well just do it the right way the first time. A little close up. That was 22 minutes. And I always make sure that I turn my pan around. I rotate it. That's why I never hold my phone with my hands, because I put my finger in the way every time. So we're going to go back up here. I think I'm going to do, let's see. You got to be careful with cakes. Let's just start with, because it's getting close, 4 minutes. And sometimes my timer, I think it's on, and then I look and it's not on. But I'm going to do 4 more minutes, and then hopefully it'll be ready. But I just wanted to show you what it looks like. Here's the cake. Now, you can tell it's cooked. It starts coming away from the edge of the pan, and you can tell where I kept testing it. Now, at the end of cakes, I really do not like to overcook a cake. So I tested the last couple of minutes. You have to just keep testing it. And you can see it comes out clean. I actually like a little bit of crumbs on it, but you can see there's a little bit. You don't want too many, just a little bit. Oh, you probably can't. Where's the camera? You probably can't see that. But there's just a little bit of crumbs on there because I like it pretty moist. So all in all, it took about 30 minutes. But I have this pan here. So I'm going to transfer the little pan to the cooling rack and let it cool. And then I guess we got to get busy. I need to start chopping my strawberries and all that stuff. Yes, my cake's cooling. I took about 3 of these spoons and I kind of tried to get some of the strawberries out. The frozen strawberries, that is, in the syrup. Just to strain out. You could strain out all the juice if you want. I think it's going to be okay if I have a little bit of juice. And I don't usually measure this frosting. I just kind of go with flavor and the consistency of it. Let's see. I want the strawberries pretty fine. This little food processor is a really good food processor. I've had a Cuisinart and a KitchenAid, and I like both of them. I can't tell you which ones, but this is what they look like. I'm going to take these out, and I'm going to put these in the fridge until I'm ready to use them. I'm going to keep them cool, so that way, because I'm going to actually add some heavy cream to my frosting. But sometimes I cheat and I put the cake in the freezer. That's a good little trick if you ever try that. So next, I guess we better get started making our frosting pretty soon. Anyway, let me wash this in. The cake gets cool to room temperature. So now we're gonna make the frosting. I sliced some strawberries. I cut them up. I don't cut them up any special way. I try to, but I'm just not that good at it. But anyway, I'll show you those in a second. So let's move to the mixer. I'm just gonna move the whole tripod. So bear with me. And let's get a good view here. Now there's 1 block of cream cheese in here. And now I did take this out just in case. If you like a lot of frosting, you can use 2 blocks. I use this one sometimes when I want just a little bit extra. I really like that whipped one, but it's too high. So I only buy it just for things like this. We're gonna put this in here. And it's my cream cheese is definitely room temperature. So we're gonna put this up. And the first thing I'm gonna do is add my pinch of salt so I don't forget. But you always want to add a pinch of salt, especially to your frostings. So let's beat this up, and I might add. Let me see. I don't like a lot of butter. It depends on what kind of cream cheese I'm making. But in this particular recipe, I only like about 1 tablespoon of butter. That's it for this recipe. You can add more if you like. And I don't really measure the ingredients for this one. And here's my strawberries. Well, I'm not sure if I'm going to use them all, but they've been in the fridge. So let's whip this up quickly. And I tell you, this one's not at room temperature, so I'm gonna add a little scoop of this one just to make sure I have enough frosting. And this one might make me have a little couple of lumps, but it'll come out eventually. And that's a big dollop. Hopefully I don't mess the whole thing up. I should have taken that one out too, but I didn't. So let me whip this up. And my mixer's so loud, so I'm going to pause the camera. And I got my powdered sugar, my vanilla, my heavy whipping cream, and my strawberries. That's all you need. And you could, now this is another thing I do. You could beat your whipped cream separately and then fold it into your cream cheese mixture. But I'm lazy, so I just pour it in here and I beat it up because I don't want too much. Anyway, I'll show you. You can see that the already whipped one whipped right in, and it was just taken out of the fridge, so I'm glad about that. Now the strawberry, the amount of liquid you put is going to kind of determine how much powdered sugar you put. So sometimes this is about, I'm so sorry, I don't even know, it's about a half a cup, and you know what, I'm going to add it all, because I want it really full of berries. I love strawberries. So now we're going to mix this in. Then we're going to add some powdered sugar. I'll add the whipping cream last. And this is cold, so it might mess up my cream cheese. Okay, let's run a spatula around here and get it all in there. See, it's already. Oh, look, my thing just fell off. I hope I just didn't put it in right. That's weird. I had it on 10 and everything, and it stayed on. Sometimes I think this one's a little bit loose. This attachment. Let me mix it one more time. Then we're gonna start adding a little powdered sugar because it's not all combined completely. And you could add more strawberries if you like. You could even add a touch of the Jello. You know, that actually might be a good idea, the Jello. And I'm going to use, this is a 3/4 measuring cup. I'm going to put, oh, you know what? I forgot about my vanilla. I always have to add my vanilla bean paste. 1 teaspoon. If a little bit, that's about 1.5 teaspoons, but close. So now we're going to, this is kind of a weird angle for me, so please forgive me if I make a mess. This is just plain old confectioner's sugar, or powdered sugar, icing sugar. But we're going to need a little bit of this. Let's add a little bit more. Okay. And you don't want to start this on high because it'll get powdered sugar everywhere. I haven't had this in so long, I can't wait to taste it. Okay, we gotta scrape the bowl. I'm sorry I didn't turn the camera off, I forgot. Sometimes I start talking to you guys and I just forget to... Looks like my attachment's staying on this time, hopefully. And I can already tell we're going to need a little bit more powdered sugar. See, that's why you have to sometimes maybe strain the strawberries. But if I make a little extra frosting, you can just freeze it. You don't have to use it all or use it in another recipe. But I'll go for consistency. And also, the heavy cream is going to take away some of the sweetness if it gets too sweet. But I want it a little stiff. So I'm going to do 2 more 3/4 a cup. I'm sorry, I don't know why I didn't use just a 1 cup measurement. Okay, I'm going to turn it off this time so you don't have to hear it, and then I'll show you what it looks like. I added 2 more 3/4 a cup to this, and I think it's going to be just right. And it is sweet. I probably should have strained the strawberries, or you can use fresh strawberries for that matter. I think it's going to be just right. And just clean the sides of the bowl. But I tasted it, and then I remember that taste. It tastes so good. Yeah, and it's gonna be way more than I probably need. That's what I get for not measuring. Yeah, that's nice and thick, so you can see it. It's pretty good. I'm happy with it. And I like the color. Maybe it could be a little redder. But I'm not going to be too picky about that. Or maybe should I add some red food coloring? I don't know. I don't even know if I have any. I have all kind of decorating stuff and all that. I do have a little bit of red. Let's put just a couple of drops. Make it a little more pink. I've never used this stuff because it's so messy. I'm always scared I'm going to get it all over the place. I've been very clumsy lately. Let's mix that in and see what happens. I'll cut you off and then come back. There it is. I actually like it. I'm kind of glad we did that. Okay. So I think we're going to add a little bit of heavy cream. Probably, and you want to make sure your heavy cream is cold. This is a brand new container. Let's add about, that's probably about 1/3 of a cup. I don't want to add too much. I end up with way too much frosting. So let me whip this, and we're gonna get it nice and fluffy, and I'll show you what a little bit more. So to cut some of the sweetness, it's very sweet. Okay, well, here's my frosting, and it's perfect now. Now, you want to make sure you strain your strawberries. Add less. I added too much, so I have extra that I put in. I added more cream cheese. I actually added another container of whipped cream cheese. And basically, I'm going to save it. You could put this in the graham cracker crust. You could put it on cupcakes. You could put it on anything. I thought about making a Jell-O mold and putting it on top of that. But anyway, I like it to go in the cracks. I'm just going to use this spatula right here. You put as much frosting as you like. Sometimes I like it thick, sometimes I don't. Kind of depends on how much you make, really. But it is delicious. And adding more cream cheese took away a little bit of the sweetness. It was a little sweet. I haven't made it in so long. I apologize. I kind of forgot how to do it. I used to be a pro at making cream cheese frosting. Okay, let's see here. You want it even. And I took out my fancy spatulas, these, but I don't really need them today. Unless I cut it. Add just a tiny bit more. And I'll probably put this cake in the refrigerator. It came with a lid as well. This container, I guess you call it container. Well, that's about all I'm going to put on here. And I'm going to put the extra in the rest of this. I have these containers here. I'm going to save it. And I think you can freeze it. I'm not totally positive about that, but I think you can. But it is delicious. And I have some strawberries in the refrigerator. Let me show you. I was going to, cut them all fancy, but basically I like them with a little sugar on top. These are beautiful. But you can just put some on top, and you can cut them this way, or you could cut them flat like this. But you want to just kind of pick out pretty pieces and just decorate it however you like. So I'll just put some on top like this, and I'll be back. That's what it looks like. I probably should have tried to make my strawberries prettier, but this is going to be so good. Give you a close up. And my strawberries were macerating in sugar, so they're so good. So I want to cut the inside and see what it looks like. I'm sure it's moist because I really watched the end. Oh, and I didn't mention this, but Ella's not here, so that's why it looks like this. Anyway, let's cut it. Okay, it's so moist. I'm going to give you a close-up of what it looks like. And it is best refrigerated, by the way. So let me turn this around. Here's what it looks like, and you can tell that the frosting does better refrigerated, but it's super moist, fluffy. So let's give it a little taste. This brings back a lot of memories. It's going to be so good. It's actually before supper because I only have one taste. So good. I love the texture of the cake. I like this recipe where you add the flour and it's really, really good. It's a way to have an easy strawberry cake. It took me basically all day. I kept procrastinating making the frosting. Anyway, it's delicious. Hope you give it a try. It's easy. Like I said, if you like more shortcut videos, I'll do my best. I like cooking from scratch as well, but please subscribe if you haven't for more delicious recipes I like to bake and cook. And thank you so much for watching, and I thank all my subscribers that I have. And I really appreciate it. Leave me a comment, and enjoy your day or night, and I'll see you next time. Bye.